Hello and welcome to my allotment diary, our first live of 2020. And I believe we are live. Yes, we are. So I thought I'd do a live for a change, really, just to have a little bit of a chat. If anyone comes online at all, there might not be anyone that comes online, which is fine. I've got some seed chopping to do, which I'll do shortly, really. But if anyone does come online, we can have a little bit of a chat. You can pop into the comments and say hello. We've got 2 in already. How are we both doing? So we got Philly SPB and the gardening channel with Ray. How are we both doing? So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a new experience. I did one of these, it must have been about a year or so ago, and we had 2 people come on, which was great. So if anyone does fancy getting involved and coming on camera, I'll post a link shortly in the comments. So you can come in, you can actually be on screen, join in. If you don't have to. You can put any comments in the side chat. I'll be looking at that as we go along as well, really. But we've got a total of 3 people watching, which is great. More than I thought, really. What's everyone saying? Evening. Dead, thank you. Dead on, thank you. No worries. So yeah, has anyone got any questions, anything they want to ask at the moment? Or I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll get the link now. And I'll pop that in. So yeah, with this link, like I said, you can come on camera and we can have a general chat, really. The only thing you need to do is, if you do come on, just mute your YouTube. Otherwise you get feedback and it's an echo coming through the screen, really. What I'll do is I'll just move you over onto this side. And what we'll do then is I'll get straight on with having a look at seeds. So I've got the 2 screens set up, so I may be looking at the one side just while I get the screen set up, really. There we go. It should be coming out. And what I'll do is there you go, that's better. So normally I buy all my seeds from Seeds Direct. I used to buy them off eBay, but since they've had their website open, I now get them from here, really. They're good, reliable. I've never had any issues with the seeds from here, which is good. So I don't know what I'm going to be growing. Everyone goes live around the same time. Who else has gone live, Philly? Like I said, this is the first time I've done it, so I'm happy to change the times, really. This bit of an experiment for me more than anything. And I plan on being maybe an hour, if that, depending on how it goes. We'll see, though. We'll see. But yeah, as I was saying, with the seeds, Premier Seeds Direct, I've never had any issues with them. I need to order my seeds for next year. Really, the plot's coming on, and I'm hoping to sort of double my yield, really, of what I will be growing and what we'll be harvesting. So if anyone's got any suggestions or any recommendations, pop them in the chat, and we can have a look. Okay, so if we go into vegetables first. Now, vegetables wise, the one thing we do grow every year and which is a must have in our household is beetroot. And we normally grow, I believe it's Bolt Hardy is the one I normally go for, which is really good. So I'm definitely going to get some of them this year if they've got any. But what other varieties of beetroot do people grow? Let's have a look. I've grown these ones before as well. These were nice, although they were quite, excuse me, they were quite low yielding. If I remember rightly, they weren't the best, but that might have just been the time of year, really. I've never grown these. Let's have a look, shall we? I get them too. I got them early because I live in Belfast and we have left the EU. Oh, that's a good shout. Fair play. I'm guessing the prices will have gone up then, I suppose, in Belfast with leaving the EU and that. Have you seen much of a markup in prices on seeds and that? I know here in Wales we've recently come out of lockdown, so for the last well, we've been out it'll be a week Monday now. We'd have been out of lockdown, a fire break lockdown, but for the previous 2 weeks, we were only allowed to actually buy essential goods, and seeds weren't classed as them. So whereas normally I would have planted my onions and garlic by now, we haven't been able to do that just purely because of the we haven't been able to get them. Now, the argument is you can always buy them online. And seeds, I haven't got an issue with buying seeds online at all. That's not an issue. I find with bulbs like your garlic and your onions, I like to have a look at them and feel what you're getting. So make sure that none of them are moldy or anything like that, or any of them have gone soft, really. So although I only buy them from Wilco's, you get that touch with them, which is good. Baltardi for you, Ray. Good. They're a good variety, aren't they? Need to look at new suppliers as Thompson and Morgan taken over most of the seed companies. Yeah, they have. They really have, and I find they're quite expensive as well, for what they are. I don't mind paying up for seeds at all, but they are expensive for what they are essentially. And like I said, I used to order these when I first started. I used to order from Premier Seeds directly on eBay, and I've never had any issues. And I just want to put it out there, I'm not sponsored by these or anything like that at all. These are just the seed company that I choose for myself, really. I tried the new ones, but was that a special? Oh, okay. Philly, not yet, but from the 1st of January, we see the way it goes. Oh, okay. It'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of the prices of seeds and that, if they do go up. I am tempted by these. Let's have a look. Golden new, and it's a novelty thing, isn't it? Just having a different color rather than your standard sort of red ones or purple, really. Okay. Let's see what they come in. Oh, packs of 300. I'll have a think about them. See what else we've got. I don't know what's going on tonight as well. My internet's really slow, really slow. Dark red, they look nice. Let's try them, shall we? Let's have a look. Oh, it's very slow tonight, very slow. Detroit, dark red. Seed count 300 again. Sow seed spring after the frost. So in the south, where I'm based, excuse me, I don't know what's going on tonight. I'm based in South Wales. So we do get a frost, but it tends not to be too bad compared to like the north and that. We tend to get away with it quite well, and because we're right by the sea, so I'm based by the sea, so it's very mild. I'd say we do get some bad ones, but it's very mild with regards to getting frost. So we're all right normally. April time, end of April, beginning of May, we can normally start planting out as a rough guide. Now, one thing I would say, even like with seeds, that I buy, I don't tend to go by the seed packet as such. I don't know about you guys. I tend to go by what the weather's doing by us. I use the seed guide as a guide as that really. But if the weather's not great, then I tend not to put some out. But if the weather's picked up a bit, then I will really. Beetroot didn't do well for me this year for some reason. That's interesting. I know not last year. Yeah, last year, not this year, last year. This it didn't do great for us either. We only had a few, but this year was really good. But I'm trying to get into the habit of successional growing. But it didn't work well at all. This year I was a bit lazy, and I only did the 2 lots of beetroot, which wasn't anywhere near what we'd normally do, which was a bit sad, really. I'm going to get some of these ones because they look nice. So, what are you guys growing this year? What would you recommend? Got my hot squash as well. Okay, so they're added. Let's have another look. What I'll do is I'll move on a bit, I think, from beetroot. Beans, asparagus. So I've got asparagus. If you've watched the channel before, you know I've got asparagus. And in the video I was filming earlier today, I plan on moving my asparagus this year. But last sort of September, the guys next door to me decided to dig up my my asparagus, and they've taken half, which wasn't ideal, but it is what it is. They didn't think I was coming back because I hadn't been for a while, because I'd been on holiday and stuff like that. They didn't think I was coming back. So they took half of the asparagus, really. So I'm going to look at growing more, I think. I'm sure it was these ones we had. Best thing for me was sweet corn. Oh, I love sweet corn. Sweet corn is by far the best thing to grow. No matter what anyone says, it's the one thing. I never used to like it, but since doing growing it myself is the best thing ever. I absolutely love sweet corn. The only problem we had this year is I didn't get it in soon enough with everything going on and that. I didn't get it in quick enough. So we got there just, but we didn't get enough of it, if that makes sense. Surely as early as possible in the spring after soaking seeds overnight, 2 to 3 seeds per pot. So my last lot of asparagus I grew from seeds, and they've been fabulous, absolutely fabulous, really. I dug my asparagus up and gave it to the neighbour, not something I wanted. Really? Asparagus, what I found with it, it's a lot of effort for not very much, unless you've got quite a few crowns. You don't get a huge amount. I don't know if that's just me this year because we don't have as many crowns as we did last year. But yeah, I kind of get what you mean, really. But I quite like asparagus. My wife likes asparagus as well, so we're gonna keep it going. I think I'm gonna get some more to germinate and get some more going, really. Yeah, let's add some of them. I'm sure this was the variety I had last time, Colossal. I'm sure it is. I'm 99% sure. I don't know about anyone else, but I tend to forget what I've grown, and that's part of the reason I started doing YouTube, was to help me remember what I was growing. Just because you write a label, and I don't know about anyone else, but it either goes missing or it gets weather worn and stuff like that. So I've never had much luck with labels and that. And I suppose I could write it down, but again, you write it down and it goes somewhere. Whereas with the YouTube, it's there. What's going on? It's there so I can watch. I tend to watch the videos back just for my own benefit more than anything. Sprouts were definitely growing sprouts this year. I didn't do any. This is the first year I haven't done any since I started really. So I'm definitely going to get some sprouts in. And I've clicked broccoli. Broccoli is the one thing I won't grow. I did it one year and I found it was a lot of effort for what you don't get really. You don't get a lot. I found, I don't know if I just didn't do it right or it was a bit rubbish or what really. I just didn't get a lot for what it was. So I tend to think it's cheap enough. I can buy it, and that's the other thing. Like speaking to a lot of people who do their own growing and stuff like that. A lot of people do it so that they it's cheaper. It's cheaper than buying stuff in the shop, and it's you decide what goes into it then as well. So I get that sort of way of thinking as well. Let's have a look at the chat. I grow mine in tubes. Works well. Is that the sweet corn that you grow in tubes? That's interesting. I tend to plant mine in a certain pattern. The guy who used to have the plot next door before he passed away, he showed me how he used to do it, and that's the way I've always done it. Then it's sort of it's almost like a diamond style pattern, so they're close together so that they can pollinate each other really. But that's the way I've always done my sweet corn. Brussels sprouts, what should we go for? Let's have a look, shall we? Oh, we're up to 4 watchers. Welcome everyone. Feel free to pop any comments or questions in the chat. There's a link as well. I'll put the link again in the chat, so if anyone does want to come on, you are more than welcome. Oh, your asparagus. Ah, okay. So from what I've been told, you shouldn't cover the top of the crowns up like a strawberry and stuff like that. So I've never thought of doing it. Recycling boxes. That's a good idea. I like that. So I've just put the link in the chat. So if anyone does fancy coming on, if you click the link, you can come on. We can have a chat. At the moment, I'm just going and having a look at what seeds I want to grow for next year. So 2,200. That's enough sprouts for anyone. Let's have a look. 90 days to maturity, germination 7 to 14, planted there. Start in spring. That's interesting. Tend to only have sprouts at Christmas really, but I tell you what we did do this year. I've started using them like mini cabbages, so we tend to shred them up and have them in salads and that, and they're really good. Really good actually. Okay. I like that idea of growing the asparagus in tubes. So I don't know if you've seen my latest video. I've got a bit of a patio decking area, and at the end of it, I'm looking to have some plants or something to sort of not separate the pathway in my plot, but just to make it look pretty. So I might put the asparagus in some and try some of that if I get these seeds. I may try that. Let's try these ones. So slow. Dogma. Rely open. 120 days. Okay. So these take a bit longer. Start indoors, part of spring, similar. How many do these get? Oh, 2,500. Bloody hell. Let's have some. Why not? So how's everyone doing tonight? Okay, what else we got? cauliflower, cabbage. Let's have some cabbage. I don't know if this is interesting. There's 4 of you watching. I do like cabbage. We don't eat enough of it, but I do like cabbage. Oh, the chat's just jumped. Okay. Any suggestions on cabbage? Any recommendations at all? Pak choy. The wife likes that. I prefer green cabbage to red cabbage. I find it much better. It's not as bitter almost. I know that sounds weird, but I find cabbage can be quite bitter. Okay. Haven't grown these ones before. Oh, I do like a chili. Let's try them. Why not? Adam, I got 9 winter cabbages for £2.50 in a local shop. Ah, that's good. Looking to sow some giant cabbage this week. Giant cabbage. Ooh. I do like cabbage. Yeah, that's a good shout. Actually, I do need to. That's the one issue I do have. And I think, do I mention it in this video coming up? I think I mentioned it in the video coming up that I do struggle planting stuff over winter. I'm quite a spring and summer type gardener at the minute, which I'm trying to get out of. I need to grow more over the winter. I used to grow stuff for Christmas and stuff like that, but I just haven't done that this year at all. I don't know why. I just haven't. But I do need to. How do you find with the cabbage, Philly? Do you find that they all arrive at once, or do you sow them successionally to get the most out of it? Really. Does anyone else feel that purple cauliflower is a bit of a gimmicky thing? Like, I get with carrots, they were originally purple. That I haven't got an issue with that. But I find with purple cauliflower, it's a bit gimmicky. But I don't know if originally they were that color and what, like with carrots, really. I don't know. These ones always freak me out. So let's get some of these. I don't know why. They just don't look right. That's a bit weird. Let's add some of them to the cart. The other thing I want to look at, which I might do in a separate video, is flowers. I need to do more flowers this year on the plot. We've got loads of lavender and I've got comfrey and stuff for the bees and stuff, but I do need to do more flowers, so I do need to look at them. What's the chat saying? Yes, that's the only problem. Yeah, that they all come at once. Yeah, I find that with a lot of things though. I need to get better at successional growing. Purple's not right. I agree, Ray. Purple's definitely not right. My wife won't eat purple food. I kind of get it. It's a bit weird. Carrots are all right. They don't. It's just getting over that purpleness of it, isn't it? It's not what we used to. I find that with what's getting me is people don't work the plots now, so the beds are ready for the summer. People, what gets me? Yeah, I totally agree, Philly. You know, as much as I've been doing bits and bobs like my patio seating area and stuff like that, I tend to put in the work in the beds now over the winter. So like I've got to order the manure, which will sit on top of the beds now over the winter. I've got some chicken manure off a friend coming. I meant to be picking it up today, but it rained, so I didn't end up getting it because my car would just be stinking. So I'm getting it tomorrow now, hopefully. But it's like I've got beds that I need to de-weed, and I show you in the video now this week. The weeds are starting to pick up, so I do need to get around de-weeding them all and get them ready, top dress them, so that come spring, as soon as that last frost's gone, we can start getting things in really. Um, it's it's difficult. Like next door, they were on furlough. So they were down there every day in the summer and that, and then they've gone back to work. It's harder in the winter anyway, but you can see that the weeds are taking over. They were down there recently because one of the beds or two of the beds have started being cleared. But it's having that time management in it and having the time to get down there and have a look and do it really. But definitely, you get what you put in really, especially with the work for the beds and that as well. Allotment Life's popped in. Hi, Allotment Life. Welcome. Everybody flowered this year. Okay. Is that just because of the weather, Ray, that they flowered? Heirloom varieties of collies don't make the same time. Okay. Thanks, Allotment Life. That's good. What are we going to look at next? We've just put some collies in the basket. Did we? Yeah, we did. Courgettes. I love a courgette. We tend to we use courgettes for spaghetti, so I spiralize it normally. And we have it with like spaghetti bolognese and things like that. And we use them quite often. Do a lot of it really. Any recommendations on courgettes? I can't remember what we grew this year. Let's have a look. What did we grow? Green bush rings a bell. No, it was Black Beauty. It was definitely Black Beauty. These were good. These were horrific in terms of the amount of yield we got from just a few plants. They were really good though. I'm definitely going to put some of these in. Like I said, we use courgettes quite a lot in our cooking. So we'll add some of them. Weather was hot early. Yeah, I think that never helped. Yeah, that never helps. Especially at the start of the year as well. I tend to find a lot of things tend to bolt quite quickly. I know our spinach, it just didn't last long at all. It was cut and come again spinach, and it just didn't last long at all, really. It was just, I don't know if it was just too hot or what. Courgettes, yeah, the collies in there, perfect. With these being such good yield, and when I say good yield, we had hundreds of them, absolutely hundreds, and some of them were sort of that big really. They were massive, absolutely massive. So I think I'm only going to get the one type of courgette. Like I said, we like these, so I'm quite happy with that. Cucumber. Do you guys grow your cucumbers indoors or outdoors? I don't grow them, sorry. Okay. I'm the only person on site the whole winter. Oh, wow. I know previously in the years that I was at my plot, it used to be me and Frank next door, and we'd be the only ones. There's only 8 sites on our plot, so it's not a huge amount at all. And we'd be the only ones down there essentially. But now we've got plots 3 and 4 have been taken over. Plot 3 are down there regularly. But like this weekend, I was down there for a couple of hours on the Saturday and Sunday, and I didn't see a soul. Didn't see a soul, which is quite nice. I don't mind it really. After the scare with the cushion, I left mine to grow massive. Yeah, ours did too. Absolutely huge. We were sick of them by the end of it. Courgette cake I'm going to make next year. Someone's recommended courgette cake, so I'm going to give that a go, I think, next year. Cucumber, we normally go for... Sorry, I had a phone call. What's the variety we go for normally? Perfection. There you go. These are nice. I tend to grow these outdoors as well. Night, Philly. Have a good evening. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate it. Yeah, these are normally grow outdoors. We've never had any issues. The only sort of issue we get is the slugs and that. So we'll add some of them. Oh, it's gone really slow now. Allotment life, yours are both indoors. Oh, okay. Is that in a greenhouse? I'm taking it then. The plot was... Yeah, I bet a lot of people. I was speaking to the guy from the council recently because I've worked all the way through everything. I was speaking to the guy from the council who came down to do his monthly inspections, and he was saying they've been inundated with people requesting allotments and that. So I think it has become so popular now, and more people are growing stuff in their gardens and on their windowsills and things like that. So I think it is very popular. Garlic I'm not going to get actually, because I can go down to I only plant them over winter. I normally do enough over winter so that we've got it all year. We just mince it up and have it down. Oh, gherkins. Brave person. My wife loves them. I can't stand them. Absolutely can't stand them. Will not grow them. I probably will actually. If she asks me, I would. But no, not at all. The other one I grow, which I'm not a big fan of, is rhubarb. Now I know that's controversial, but I can't get on with rhubarb at all. Really can't. And I've been a bit naughty. I've kind of neglected it this year, just because I don't like it, which is really bad. I need to dig it up and I need to move it. The variety is Victoria. I think it's Victoria, the variety. So I'm going to have a look at what conditions it needs, but I'm going to put it out the way, I think, just because I don't like it. Kale, love a bit of kale. You want to pickle yours? Ooh. Still not on board with it. Sorry, I can't. I think I grew gherkins year before and was told the cucumbers taste. Yeah, that's it. It's always a thing when someone gives you one and tells you it's a cucumber. It's not good at all. Kale, let's see how many. I don't know if anyone else has grown kale. We tend to find this is good majority of the year. It just keeps coming and coming. And we have it. We do a lot of different things. We have it as crisps. We have it in salads. We do it like spinach, so with garlic and butter and things like that. It's really good. Love a bit of kale. Have it in smoothies. Oh no, rhubarb crumbles is literally my idea of hell. Cannot do it. Cannot. Oh, goes through me. I don't know. I don't know why. My nan loves it, but I just can't do it. Oh, leeks. Do you have some leeks? Got 3 of you watching. Has anyone grown? Oh my god, I've forgotten what it's called. Turmeric. I'm tempted to try and grow turmeric. I've seen it on TV, people growing it and that. So I'm very tempted to grow it. If anyone's wondering why I keep looking to my right, I've got the chat up on the right-hand screen. So I'm just checking, see what people are putting in the chat, really. Leeks. Being from Wales, you can't not love a leek. These are the ones we normally go for. I tend to find I stick with the same variety of what I normally grow for. I need to change it up, really. Really should. I grew kale, but prefer to mix with cabbage then. Okay, we'll have to try that, mixing it with cabbage. That sounds good. 1,600. Yeah, these are a good variety. They're extremely hardy, which is good. I mean, again, these we tend to find we have good success with them all year round, which is good. And they come to a decent size as well. And a leek and potato soup, you cannot beat a leek and potato soup. Let's add some of them. Never grown turmeric. I'm very tempted. So normally I say normally, it's not normal at all. I used to grow different things each year. So like the one year I used to work with a Polish lady and she gave me some seeds, and how to describe them? They looked like mini suns. They were about this big. I can't remember what they're called. They grew about this big. They looked a bit like a sunflower, but it was more of a like a butternut squash type texture inside of them. I can't think what they're called. I'll try and find out, and I'll post it if I can. I'll message her and I'll post it when I find out. But they were weird. I've grown tobacco. Didn't get it to the growing stage, to the curing stage. But that was interesting. That was like a weed. That was horrendous. Marrows, melons, mustard, no. Onions I'll go pick up from the shops. Parsnips, I won't grow parsnips again purely because about 3 years ago, basically I let them grow. We had what we wanted for Christmas and that, and then I let them grow, or kept going. Come the spring and summer, I dug them all up, and the foliage on top was like so big. It was massive. So I was breaking that up and digging it all up, and the sap inside, I didn't realize it reacts to with sunlight, and basically I came out with all pus bubbles on my hands and everywhere, all up my arms and all sorts, really. So I won't grow them again just because it was so much. I was in agony for days with them, so I won't grow them. And they're cheap enough in the shops; you can buy them. And I tend to find they don't taste hugely different in the shops. I failed with leeks this year due to ill health. Oh, sorry to hear that. Couldn't get to the plot. Leeks was good. Good think was Musselburgh. Yeah, that's the ones I've just put in my cart. Musselburgh. I tell you what I can do. There you go. I did lean onion soup. It was good. Excellent. There you go. I forgot I could add the questions and answers and things like that in the chat. Peas, love a pea. I remember when I first started doing the plot, we took our nephew down. He must have been about 4 or 5 maybe. And he he literally ate all my peas. We sat him on the shed step, and he sat there and ate all the peas, just opening the pods like a sweet wrapper, and just ate them all. They were good. Again, purple. Why purple? Why? Any recommendations on peas? What do you guys grow? I think we grew these previously. Sugar Bon. What do you recommend? Purple peas. When I find a veg that does well, I stick to it. Yeah, I do as well. Very much so keep to the same ones, which I shouldn't really. Alderman. Let's have a look. Have they got any alderman peas? Alderman Maine. Let's have some alderman Maine then. I'll go with your recommendation, Ray. 6 foot tall. Oh, geez. I'm guessing they're high yielding then if they grow 6 foot tall. 360. Douche province for winter sowing. Okay. Can you grow them now then, or is it too late to have them? I'll wait for this to catch up. I don't know what's going on. I'm using an old laptop rather than my new one, so I don't know if it's that's being slow tonight, or if it's my internet. Those peas okay now. Excellent. I'll see if they've got any of them now. Peas. Well, I've been going for 42 minutes. That's surprising. I didn't think it would be this long, and I definitely didn't think there'd be people watching. Right, well, we're looking for doche peas. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. No, I'll write that down. I'll have a little look for them later. Doche peas, winter growing. See, it's good to talk. Okay, what else are we looking at? So we've got peas, peppers. I do like a hot pepper. When my peas germinate, I'll keep them in the cold frame until spring and plant out. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Oh, these are my favorite. I absolutely love peppers. See, I think these are so pretty. Just so pretty. Mine got eaten by mice. Mice are killers when they get into stuff. They're absolute killers for destroying all the produce and stuff. Luckily, I don't think we've had issues with them, or if we have, I've not seen them at all. But I haven't noticed anything either. See, right. I know I said I don't like purple food because I think it's gimmicky, but these do look pretty. You have to say they do look lovely. You've got the different colors. I am gonna add some of these. Sorry. Be right back. I like making chili jam. A friend of mine gave me a recipe and it's really good. Hot peppers. So we got 10 items in our in the cart so far. It's not too bad. Got some snack pepper going to try for kids' lunchbox. Okay, that's interesting. Snack pepper. What's a snack pepper? I'm guessing it's just a pepper you can snack on, like a jalapeno. Have they got cayenne ones? Bird. Oh, there's pages and pages of them. I won't bore you with going through all these peppers. I'll move on. I'll have a look at them later. What I'll probably do in a later video is once I've put my whole list together, I'll go through what I've ordered. I think that might be best. Pumpkin. Who doesn't love a pumpkin? Hot, spicy pumpkin soup. Ties in with the chilies as well. Can't fault it. Atlantic giants. I grew these the 1 year. I think it was a rabbit had started eating it. Where originally I had a plot which was private plots, and basically it was in the middle of nowhere. It was on a farmer's. He'd done the whole field as allotments, and I think it was rabbits. That's what he said would have been there, eating it. So it got destroyed really. Oh, there you go, Atlantic. These are cute. I'm gonna grow some mini ones, I think. Back up to 4 people watching. Welcome if you're new. I can't eat chili pepper. I know that feeling. As I've got older, I am finding it harder and harder. But I love a chili. I absolutely love it. Let's have a look at these ones, shall we? $45, that's more than enough. 20 fruits per vine. Bloody hell. Sunny spot. See, that might be an issue. So where the plot is, because we're near the sea, it's quite windy, quite well a lot of the time. But there is a potential spot I could put these. Soil's well drained, that's fine. We're quite clay based. Sprawl out, that's fine. I think these are the ones you can grow up. I might grow them up over something. Yeah, let's have some. Why not? Let's go wild. Let's go pumpkins again. I'm going to try and grow pumpkins, not just for Halloween. We enjoy them in our house. Let's try these ones. They look nice. I always forget when using StreamYard, there's a slight delay compared to YouTube. So when the comments come through, it's slightly behind. I think it's about 30 seconds, if that delay. 45 will be plenty. Let's order them. Yeah, I've seen a few other people on different allotment channels this year grow the small pumpkins, and some people have like trained them up over their gateways and things like that, and I thought that was quite nice. And they're only small, so you can stuff them, which is really good, or fill them with like soup and things like that. So I think they'd be quite good, really. And like I said, that was saying that you get a yield of 20 per vine, which is hell of a lot, really. What you'd ever do with that many, I don't know. Plenty of sweet peppers next year. I love the wife's homemade bolognese. Oh, that's a good shout. I'm not. I like sweet peppers, but we don't eat them often. Um, excuse me. My wife, she's not a big hot chili person at all, and she's not. She likes a pepper, but she's not 100% loving them, sort of thing. So we tend not to eat them at all. I hope your wife doesn't watch this. Is not watching. Right, what are we looking at next? Radish. I grow radish every year, but I never, or very rarely, do we eat them. So I'm saying no this year. No, we're not doing them. Rhubarb, we've already mentioned that. Spinach, I love spinach. Absolutely love it. The variety we had this year was a cut and come again variety. It was really nice. I think it was. Oh, I can't remember. Oh, they look nice. Wife isn't watching. That's lucky. Rubino, F1. These leaves, when the picture pops up, reminds me of beetroot leaves. It was a hybrid variety producing uniform red shaped leaves, best suited to spring and autumn, sowing in cool, moist conditions. That looks lovely. Really does look like beetroot leaves to me. Right, okay. 25 to 45 days, sunny. Happy with that. Let's have some of them. Vegetables. What I think I'll do is I'll finish off with the vegetables now. I didn't really think it was going to be this long. So I'll finish the vegetables and I might do another live, maybe tomorrow, possibly, maybe Tuesday. Maybe going through some of the other stuff. Flowers is the one I need the most help with. Hated spinach since you were a kid. Oh, I love spinach. Veg. I tend to find the other reason, so I've said that I tend to stick to the same variety, and I tend to find, I don't know about anyone else, because the amount of seeds that you get in packets, like some of these seeds, 2,500, because the amount of seeds, I never need that many anyway, so it's enough for successional growing. So having more than one variety, it baffles me. Well, it doesn't baffle me. I get it. They taste different and stuff, but I find it hard to eat that much of it unless I was purely going all in on it. I struggle with it really. Squash, love squash. Same with pumpkins really. These are great. Still 4 people watching. Wow. Ooh. So they look similar to the pumpkins. Oh, see, that freaks me out a bit. I don't know if I'd want to eat that. These are the ones we buy every year, butternut. But I'll get some butternut and I'll have a little look at what else as well. Had some last year and it was agreeable. I must have been given leaves off a bolting plant when I was young. Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? It's if you have a bad experience with anything, it can put you off. Why isn't this loading? Come on. I know, like aubergine, I I don't like aubergine at all, but that's mainly because I was sick once on it, and it just reminds me of that time, and I just can't do it. It's the same with mango. I can't eat mango to save my life. Um, I was violently ill, and all I remember bringing up was mango, and I just can't do it at all. Believe it or not, me and the wife get on great, right? We both have a sense of humor. Doing any flowers on the plot? I am going to do some flowers. I haven't got any. So I've planted some dahlias, I think they were. I bought them as seeds this year, and they said that on the packet is plant out from September onwards. So I planted them. I think it was sort of mid to end of October. So they've been planted out. I've got some daffodils in as well. Again, being in Wales, I can't not grow daffodils. So we've got some of them in. We've got lavender. The lavender's doing well. I need to trim that now and shape it a bit. But I planted more in recently, and I'm probably going to plant a bit more at the top where the shed is. There's the whole bit of no man's land. If you've seen any of the earlier videos, I go into a bit of detail with it, but essentially in the no man's land, I'm sure there's a beehive in there. So I want to do a lot of lavender and a lot of bee-friendly plants, really. We get loads of bees and wasps and that in the summer, which is great. So I want to try and keep giving them the food to keep them going. So I want to put another load of lavender at the back, sort of between where my seating area is going to be and no man's land. So I'm probably going to do more lavender. I've also planted tulips. I like a tulip, so I've planted some of them, but I do need more flowers at the plot, really. So any suggestions would be great. Got loads of daffodils to plant out, some for planters. I'm trying to grow mango. Wow. Can we grow that over here in the UK? That'll be interesting. I've got a fig tree that's doing really well. We had some nice figs off that this year. That was really good. What's going on? So that's doing well. We had a load of offcuts, and I'm going to do more offcuts this year again. So that we want one in the garden. My father-in-law has asked for one for where he works, so we'll probably get him one as well. So I'll do a load of cuttings, really. Last year we did 6, I think. We gave some to the plots, some of the neighbours on the other plots. And where I moved it from the previous year, we've had a few offshoots come up from that as well. So I've got one left I need to dig up, which I'll probably do might do next week or the week after, and pot that on, really. Again, why have we got purple? I did grow these the one year. I'll be honest, I'll put my hands up. They were interesting. They taste exactly the same, but yeah, I did grow them. What should we go for? Let's try these. No, I haven't built in the planet. I have hanging baskets to fill tomorrow. Pansies are ready. Excellent. Fig's really easy. I was quite surprised how easy the fig tree was to grow. Literally, I did nothing. I planted it and off it went, really. And I planted it at the bottom of the plot originally, and that was a silly mistake. So I've moved it at the top now, and it's flourished. Now where it's planted now is where I used to store the manure. So it's got loads of feed and that in there, and it's bouncing on. So the plan with that is to grow it around the shed, but to grow it down the plot. So where the plot line, where the tree line goes, is to grow it down. So espalier it all the way down and then across the front of the plot. and make like an archway. Now that's going to take 5 to 10 years, I reckon, realistically, to get all that. But it'll look nice once it's done. And the figs were good this year. Really easy to grow. I'll show that one. I'm drinking hot squash tonight. Oh, we're up to 5 viewing now. Welcome to the new person viewing. Yeah, it's difficult with lockdown, isn't it? Like we saw loads of stuff. I picked up stones and things like that just before lockdown, for the pathways and things like that. But with lockdown now, it is difficult getting out. I couldn't get my old greenhouse to get kind of. Wow. Yep. Okay, so we've added some sweet corn. Swiss chard, no. Tomatoes I don't bother with either. I've got a love-hate relationship with tomatoes. As an actual tomato, I don't really like them. I don't like the texture, but normally I make like our own bolognese sauces and things like that, jar it up and that, which are good. But I just find them such hard work. Where we are, excuse me, where we are, with the rain and stuff, I just find they always split, and it annoys me. And the blight, we're horrendous on ours for blight. Next door plot had it horrendous this year, so we tend not to do as many tomatoes. Yeah, let's pop this one up. Up to 6 now. Welcome everyone. I'll pop the link in the chat, although I'm not sure how much longer we're going to go, but if anyone wants to pop on, say hello, have a chat, click the link, and you're more than welcome to join me. Yeah, I can imagine it's a pain. Do you have anyone helping you at all then? Or any of the other allotment holders? Do they clear your path at all? I know, like on our plot, I get on with the guys next door. It's 2 brothers, and in the summer where I've been working and stuff like that and couldn't get to the plot, they've watered it for me. And we've got a group. They're quite young. They're in their 40s. They're quite young, so we've got like a WhatsApp group that we share information on, and if people can't get to the plot and things like that, someone will text me saying, "Oh, can you water mine tonight?" or anything like that, which is really good. We don't have a committee. Watching other YouTubers and things like that, knowing what other sites are like, from speaking to friends and that, I know a lot of people have issues when there's committees and that involved. Joe Mills, I don't know if any of you subscribe to him. I know he's had issues on his plots from his committees and that. But on ours, we don't have one. Like I said, there's only, I think it's 8 or 9. I'm gonna have to count because I mentioned this in my last video. There's only 8 or 9 plots, so it's not a huge amount. So we're really lucky in that respect, and everyone gets on. Everyone's really friendly. There's a lot of banter. The one lady who's right at the top of the plots, she lives directly behind one of them, so she just comes in from her back garden essentially. So we don't really see her that much. She'll have a wander down, or I'll have a wander up when I'm having a look around and stuff. So if you watch the last video, she's the very end plot, the one with the chickens. And then the guy, so the 2 brothers next door get on with the next plot, the couple that have been there since March. They're really nice, and really chatty. I haven't met the guy on the 4th plot, or the people on the 4th plot, should I say. Apparently they took over the plot in lockdown, and some work has been done. But I think where I've been working in the days and now it's got too dark that I can't go after work and things like that. I'm only there on the weekends. Um, I think they've been doing it, so we just haven't met each other. And then the next plot, I see them quite a bit, and they're nice. Get on with them. So it's a really good site. Really, I think I'm lucky in that respect. Let's have a look at some catching up on some of the comments. Tigerello tomatoes are brilliant. They are good. I used to grow Tigerello ones. They're the ones with the stripes in them, which are really nice. I grew 100 plus tomato plants last year. Wow, what do you do with 100 tomato plants? That's unreal. That's insane. You must have so many tomatoes from it. And where'd you put them all? Yeah, Tigerello are good tomatoes, in all fairness. They're on next year's list. No help yet, but I advised a plot share to the secretary. She agreed. Oh, nice. Will you get to choose with that plot share then? Will you get to choose which half the plot you have? I know different sites do it differently, don't they? Someone was telling me a while ago that their plot share site, and rather than like having half each, for instance, you have the whole plot. So like your plot share, you could both be working in the same bed, for instance, which I didn't quite understand how that would work, unless you get on with them and know them really well, I suppose. But yeah, I know a lot of people. Some councils are trying to encourage more plot sharing, aren't they? Especially during sort of this time of year now, just because more and more people, as we said earlier, are looking for plots. So I know more people are looking for plot shares really to get doing something really. Peter's in the chat. Hi, Peter. Sprouted some strawberry seeds. Let's pop this up, shall we? Got to keep remembering to do that. Let's do that. I sprouted some strawberry seeds from the store, but some sprouted with 3 beginning leaves. Is that bad or not? I don't think it's bad. It depends on the plant and what you put into the ground, is what I always say. And it's a bit of trial and error. Like, I'm no expert by any means at all. I would just see how it goes. 9 times out of 10, though, you can, as long as the plant survives, you'll get your fruit and veg from it. That's how I always see it. And like I've been doing this 4 or 5 years now, and even now I find like it's a learning process. It's a constant learning process. There's things that I'm picking up. There's stuff that I share that I know. Like I was helping out the guys next door on the plot next door to me with different things that I've picked up over the years, and some of it's from what their dad told me when he had the plot, sort of thing. So you can, it's trial and error. I would say you can't go wrong really. Joe's issues were ridiculous. Yeah, they were. From what I've seen, they are quite bad. Really, I don't want to go into it too much because I don't know the ins and outs. I've only seen obviously what he's put in his video, but I've heard of things happening like that on other sites as well. It's quite horrendous, really. What does happen? And it's almost like a power trip for some people. And I find, like, for myself, like I started 4 or 5 years ago, and it is definitely a thing. Like when I first started on the plot, people would look at him like, "You're a bit young. What are you doing here?" And didn't feel, not unwelcome, but it was a bit of apprehension of, what is he doing? Is he gonna, I don't know, not do the work? Is he gonna grow drugs or anything like that? Someone asked me that, "Are you gonna grow weed?" and things like that. And it is difficult with those situations, really. But yeah, committees, I tend to think they do have a bit of a power trip sometimes. But that's just from my experience, as I've said. It's progress. That's interesting. So this is kind of what I'm doing. I'll just pop the comment up now. So Ray just said my old allotment made plots to raise beds to help able people to grow. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Long term, really. All right, my beds are quite low. They're not massively raised beds, but I know more people, especially when they get to a certain age, um, are making beds, bigger beds, so that it is easier for them to garden. Like a friend's mother's done it, and her bed, so she gets out of her or off her walker and can sit on the side of the bed and garden from there. They're only about a meter square, really, so that she can do it that way, and it helps her out with regards to being able to garden, keep the hobby alive, really. Allotment life. I don't intend to split the plot. What's this? Don't intend to split the plot. I can feed 3 families from it. Wow. All I require is open path. It will get one more person off. Yeah, that's true. Um, I find like with our allotment, there's only me and my wife, and we have more than enough. We're always giving food away, really, from what we grow, all the excess. Like we started making. There's only so much jam, gin, and like crumbles and things that you can make, and even stuff that you freeze. There's only so much room in the freezer to store stuff, so we give a lot of stuff away, really, to friends and family and work colleagues, whoever wants it, essentially. Allotment life I'm easy to get on with. Good, good. Peter, thanks. I'm chairman on our side and not interested in power trips. Good. Um, like as much as you hear bad things, it's one of those things, isn't it? As much as you hear bad things about committees and things like that, you don't hear the good committees because people don't. Like if you're doing a YouTube video, how interesting is it saying how good my committee is? You only ever hear the bad things, and like I've heard, like from speaking to people, they don't have issues at all on their sites with committees and things like that. It's just the odd few that do, and it does just give it a bad sort of name, really. It's difficult, isn't it? My beds were raised 18 inches and were built without realizing I was going to lose a leg in the future. It worked in my favor. Fair play. Like I know we've toyed with the idea on my plot of raising the beds, but at the minute I'm quite content with what they are. And I think what the plan is, in theory, and I say in theory, is over the years as we put more manure and build the beds up that way, that they will get taller. So time I come to being in a position where, let's say, I've got mobility issues due to old age or anything really, they should be high enough for me to be able to still continue to work it. That's the theory. You just never know, really, do you? Never know. Joe would never have had the hassle from me. Good, good. Guys, we've been going for over an hour now. I'm well impressed. Thank you for joining me. It's been good. Any other questions or anything? I think I'm going to wrap it up in the next couple of minutes, really. My dinner is going to be past ready. But how have you found the live as well? I tend to do more of them, and I am looking ideally on a Sunday evening, really. But I know there was comments earlier about people going live at the same time. I'm quite easy to a certain extent with what time I go live on here. So if anyone's got any suggestions or time that would suit them better, I'll go with the majority, and what I can fit in as well around my schedule, essentially. But what I might do tomorrow night now is continue this. It'll either be tomorrow or Tuesday, I haven't decided yet. And have a look at flowers. So if anyone is free and able to join, that would be great. And any advice would be good. Yeah, the chat has been really good. It's interesting getting other people's views and opinions. Like, as I said, I'm fairly new to this, 4 or 5 years in. and I still class myself as being new to gardening and being new to growing fruit and veg and things like that. So I think um, any advice, any help you can get is great. Um, really. So I've really appreciated the help, and doing a live is a lot easier than doing a video, asking questions, waiting, getting the questions in. I think this is more interactive, which is good. And I could talk to the end of time. Really, I'm quite happy talking to myself. But there is the option, if people do want to join in, they're more than welcome to join in. Really. I know Joe's been on here. I might drop him a message actually, see if he's free. Uh, Maybe next week to come on and have a chat. Allotment life. It's easy to fill a raised bed. This thing called, oh no, I'm going to try and pronounce that. Is a very old idea. My granddad used this idea years ago to get rid of any rubbish in the garden that wouldn't break down. Yeah, that's good. A lot of people used to do it back in the day. It's all green. Yeah, it really is a great community for advice. Like, I'm always on YouTube looking at videos. There's a few people I follow, quite not religiously, I suppose, but I look forward to their videos each week to see what they're getting up to and things like that. And it's almost like, right, they've done this, I need to think about doing whatever that is, really. Um, so yeah, I think it is great, and I find it a lot easier. Like I said, if I write something down, I'll never remember it, and I'll never be able to find that piece of paper or that book that I've written it in. So I think being able to come back and watch these videos um, is good, really, and I hope people find value from it. And if not, fine. I'm quite happy to carry on doing it and talking to myself. But if you find value in it, great. I'm going to wrap it up there then, guys. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button, and don't forget the bell and be notified. Like I said, I'll try and go live again one night this week. Once I've worked out my schedule, I'll pop a thing up at least a day in advance to say when I'm going live, so everyone's notified of it, really, and hopefully people can join me with it, and we'll having a look at flowers and other things, really. So thanks for watching, is really appreciated. Becky's allotments just popped in. Sorry, Becky, I'm just wrapping it up now. Feel free to go back to the beginning and watch it, but I am just wrapping it up. Just because we've been going for an hour and 18 minutes, but I am hoping, as I've just said, to do another live later this week to have a look at some flowers and that. So you're more than welcome, if you're available, to come join in, really. I will catch you all next time. Thank you very much.